Live from DuPont Pavilion on the campus of Villanova University. Welcome to Big East basketball. Tonight it's Villanova against Providence College. A very pleasant good evening. Welcome to Villanova. I'm John Sanders, and right now we're at the midway point in the Big East regular season. It is a critical game, especially for Villanova. We'll show you why by taking a look at the standings. Surprisingly, it is Connecticut at the top, but before this night is over, we could have as many as 4 teams tied for second in the conference race. One of them is not Villanova. The Wildcats are down toward the bottom. They're trying to avoid that 8-9 game when it comes tournament time in the Big East. Working with me tonight is Billy Raftery. Of course, for the Wildcats to win and move up in the standings, they got to do something about the shooting, Billy.
Well, they've really been struggling, John. They're a great free throw shooting team. That's really helped them. Against Providence, the last time they set a Big East record with 33 turnovers. So Roley's been getting good shots, but converting them has been a problem.
It certainly has, and we can show you specifically what we're talking about. In the last 3 Big East games, for example, St. John's, 34.4%. That's not like a Wildcat team. The problem is, Billy, it got worse. They dropped off against Georgetown and also down against Seton Hall and losing those games. So overall, 30% is tough to win shooting those numbers.
The shooting's been the constant has been the defense. They like a low-scoring game, and of course, today Providence will try and push it up, get the numbers, get a fast flow to this game.
One change that we're going to see, a 3-forward offense for Villanova tonight. And that means making his first Big East start is Calvin Byrd, who's coming off a career game against Seton Hall.
Here's a kid I saw in Maui earlier in the year, and he's full of pizzazz. He's quick to the basketball, but in asking John Olive about his ability, he said he'll get on the floor, get up with the loose things, fill the lane, and get some excitement into this club.
Marquise Bragg, meanwhile, for Providence, as the Friars come in, also, of course, seeking a win because they're thinking NCAA tournament. Marquise Bragg will not start, but most likely he'll be the first man up front we see off the bench.
Well, the thing about Rick Barnes is he really needs some offense inside, and this kid in high school was a good player, Clifford Scott. They got him the basketball. He can do some damage. They really need some help from somebody. Somebody has to step up tonight.
Keep in mind that Villanova has not won a Big East game at home. They've only lost 1 on the road. They need a win tonight against the Friars of Providence College. We'll be back to meet the starters for the Wildcats and also the Friars from Villanova. First, we're going to pause for this word, and it comes from your local station.
Express mail from your post.
Announcer is Al Elia.
Good evening and welcome to Villanova University's DuPont Pavilion as the Big East Conference presents tonight's game between the Providence College Friars and the Villanova University Wildcats. Starting at guard for Providence, a 6-foot senior from Brooklyn, New York, number 11, Carlton Screen. For Villanova, a 5'11" sophomore from Houston, Texas, number 15, Chris Walker. For Providence, a 6'2" junior from Bridgewater, New Jersey, number 14, Eric Murdoch. For Villanova, a 6'6" sophomore from Rochester, New York, number 24, Greg Woodard. At center for Providence, a 6'10" senior from Bronxville, New York, number 30, Marty Conlon. For Villanova, a 6'6" senior from Columbia, South Carolina, number 35, Rodney Taylor. At forward for Providence, a 6'5" senior from Columbia, Maryland, number 15, Quentin Burton. For Villanova, a 6'6" freshman from Bridgewater, New Jersey, number 14, Lance Miller. For Providence, a 6'11" senior from Staten Island, New York, number 25, Abdul Shamsuddin. And for Villanova, a 6'6" freshman from Hayward, California, number 21, Calvin Byrd.
Coach Rick Barnes in his second season as head coach of the Friars. He's 12-12 in Big East play, and of course the veteran Roley Massimino will coach the Wildcats of Villanova. Villanova desperately needs a win tonight. We'll be back to get the game started from Villanova, Pennsylvania. The Wildcats and the Friars. First, a word from your local station. Along with Billy Raftery, I'm John Sanders. The Wildcats lead the series 30-16, and they have dominated in the last couple of years. They have won the last 4. As a matter of fact, you have to go back to January of '88, the last time Providence defeated Villanova in Big East play. Shamsuddin, Burton, Conlon, Murdoch and Screen, Miller, Taylor, Walker, Woodard, and Byrd. Interesting 3 forwards in the lineup.
And Byrd jumping, really can get up. Of course, that's for speed, I think, and maybe a message for Tom Grice.
Carlton Screen to Conlon. This is Quentin Burton. He's had his problem shooting as well of late. Conlon in the lane, back to Screen for 3, spins in.
That's what they do very well. Reverse the ball. Nice look by Marty Conlon.
Carlton Screen with his 19th three-pointer of the year. You know, he's become more of a scoring threat this year than he had been in the past.
Very much improved.
Here's Byrd outside, touching it for the first time. Walker, Woodard, they look low to Taylor, don't go inside. Instead, they reverse it the other way.
Man-to-man. A lot of motion, a lot of speed here. Maybe the open middle will help Woodard, too.
Walker with some penetration, kicks it to Woodard. Now they go inside. Taylor, count the basket, and he's fouled on the play. Well, Taylor will go to the line with a chance for the 3-point play. They worked it inside that time, Billy.
Well, John, you'd love to say to your players, hey, get around Rodney Taylor. But that's not an easy task. It's almost like a toll road. He's so wide. Good shape up, down low.
When you put Villanova at the line a lot, which they go to the line more than any other team in the country, they're probably going to beat you.
Consistently, they've been tough. That's why they win so many close games, too, John.
It's amazing, though, to shoot in conference play 80% at the foul line.
Awesome. Of course, here's a little switch now. They were 2-3 matchup, now 1-1-3. Basically a 2-3 zone. A lot of communication necessary.
It's a tie game at 3-3. Conlon in the lane, fakes, and then takes it on in.
May have gotten away with one, too.
I thought so, too.
A little shuffle.
5-3.
The full court pressure.
The foul is on Carlton Screen. Second team foul on the Friars, who are 12-5 overall. The Wildcats 11-10 overall. Providence with losses in conference play to Georgetown, of course, the one to Villanova and St. John's. Villanova, meanwhile, has lost to Seton Hall twice, UConn, St. John's, and Georgetown.
This building has not been kind to the Cats.
They have not won a conference game here this year. Byrd against Shamsuddin, spins it up. Murdoch on the other side with a rebound. Eric will start back. Here's Screen. Pulls up for the jumper, too strong. And a foul from behind on Shamsuddin.
Because what makes Providence tough, I think, the ability of the guards to get loose balls and rebound. Murdoch getting almost 5 rebounds a game. And of course, a lot of people think they're one of the premier backcourts in the country.
They hound you. Providence team averaging over 10 steals a game. Walker working against Screen.
They really pressure the basketball.
Lance Miller, who's had an outstanding freshman season, but he touched the baseline. It's out of bounds. Turn it over. Of course, those outstanding crop of freshmen for Villanova, you know, you're talking about Bain, Bryson, Byrd, Miller, and Lloyd Mumford, who's not playing because of an injury. Just a great crew.
I think that's the reason they're up and down, too, trying to learn the game at this high level.
Murdoch's jumper. Shamsuddin keeps it alive for Burton. Woodard jumps out on him.
What makes Providence tough is the spacing. They're such good perimeter shooters. There's plenty of room for the defense to cover.
Conlon is fouled by Taylor. So Rodney Taylor commits the first foul of the game by Villanova. Let's take another look. Conlon had a free ride as he turned around this time.
Well, nice screen by Shamsuddin, and this is where Marty, I think, has improved. They talk about power, but I think he's more of a finesse player, and Rick Barnes feels when he started shooting it and using his little moves instead of strength, he turned his year around.
But we know he can shoot. He had a couple of big three-pointers in that great Providence victory at Syracuse.
Of course, making the free throws sets up their pressure, too.
6,500 at DuPont Pavilion, as always. Conlon with 3 points. The lead is 3 at 6-3. Byrd handles the pressure and finds Woodard.
I think you just have to take the break when it's there. even if you're a pacing club, you got to punish the defense on occasion. See how they stretch the D, John?
That time they force it into Conlon. It winds up with Shamsuddin.
What a look by Conlon. Not so many little guys can see the floor like that.
Byrd turns it over. Here's screen. Yes. Carlton screen taking the feed, hits the shot. It's a 5-point lead.
Well, they can get them in bushels quickly.
Lance Miller, 3-on-2, but screen from behind and a great save.
Never gave up on it. He's got to come back in, though.
He's downtown by now.
He's hobbling a little bit.
Yes, he is. He might have himself running out of bounds.
They're going to check on him.
They are going to check on him. It'll be Providence basketball. Our officials are Peter Pavia, John Moreau, and Frank Scagliotta. There's Rick Barnes in his second season. I'm sure he remembers that Villanova game because it's the worst loss he's had since coming to the Big East.
He said the turnovers was everything they wanted, and they got wiped out in their own building. But Screen may have gotten hurt when he went off the court and tried to slow down. May have slipped.
Same thing here. Villanova with 3 early turnovers. Providence has not turned it over yet, and they still haven't.
Man-to-man this trip.
Burton for 3. Taylor for Villanova. Back come the Wildcats.
They switched pivot feet.
Yes, he did.
Oh,
Right in front of John Moreau.
couldn't see the farthest four.
Byrd into the lane, jumps it up and has it partially blocked, but a foul called on Conlon.
Should be on the pass too, John.
That'll be Marty's second foul.
Good call by Frank Scagliotta.
One of the things I think that Rick Barnes is concerned about, the number of fouls that are being called against his team, especially when you play Villanova.
Well, if you're the other coach, you're going to ask, and he understands that for the hand checking. If they get started with the swiping and slapping, they're devastating in that pressure.
Miller from long range. That's a 3.
Good pop out. Did you see Taylor eliminating Marty Conlon on the weak side?
Only his 5th three-pointer of the season. Brings the Wildcats back to within 2. Burton hands the ball to Screen. You know Villanova's defense is going to play good. They always do. Screen, top of the circle. Rebound by Miller. Lance Miller to Walker.
I think Peter Pavy has to walk first.
I think he does. That's going to be the call. The travel will give it back to Providence. We've got our first timeout. 15:31 remaining in the first half. Providence College 10, Villanova 8. Back in a minute. Leading Villanova 15:31 to play. You said you thought they'd try to get Woodard more involved in the offense, and they do.
Well, the break, I think you've got to punish the pressure on occasion, even if you want to be patient on the offense. But Marty Conlon, one of the big guys that can see the floor and make some extraordinary plays during the course of the year. Here he knows he's drawn the defense. That's a flip with the left hand out of the Goose's book. Great look.
Tremendous, tremendous pass. 10-8, the Friars with the lead and the basketball. We have Tom Grice in the lineup now. From the corner, the three-pointer is short. Miller got a piece of it, but it's out of bounds, and the Friars will keep it. So Grice is in the lineup now.
John Olive, who we had a chance to chat with, Rolly not feeling well. Didn't get here till close to game time. He feels that Grice has played well against Providence. On the offensive end, they've got to get him involved right away. Little matchup right here.
And for the first time, we see Marquise Bragg, number 24, on the court for Providence in their black road uniforms. Villanova in white with a blue trim. Murdoch to screen. Inside Conlon. Turns around, works his way inside, and there's Grice making his presence known with his 44th block of the year.
Well, that's position blocking. Good read, helping his partner. Marty with the good footwork, really knows how to step across people. Good read, and a big guy.
Murdoch with penetration, his jumper off the glass and good.
Great kiss over the outstretched hand. Of course, Grice not starting. Rolly maybe trying to get him a little excited about this game.
Well, that's 3 of the last 4 that he has not started. In the case of the other 2, it was James Bryson, though, who got the call. Woodard goes inside to Grice, back to Taylor. Had the foul line shot. Billy didn't take it.
No. Oh, they'll be patient. Good shot by Conlon.
Grice off the glass and good. Well, Grice with his first.
He has such a soft, look right back, Providence.
Burton, yes.
And nobody on the back line saw the ball. Villanova asleep as Providence, where they really forced the pill up the floor.
Now Grice helping out against the pressure. Hands it back to Lance Miller. Woodard from the side.
I think they prepared for him. They're not giving him much room.
Well, they know about his reputation. Here's Grice, jump hook. That's one of his favorite spots on the court. He misses, and Conlon rebounds.
What I like about screen, he gives it up quickly.
Murdoch working the baseline, and Taylor picks up the foul. Rodney has his second.
Now they call him Rick. His cousins do the Millers on Villanova, but he wouldn't be able to get this ball and turn the corner if caught in the screen. Wasn't unselfish, gave it up and let him do his damage.
Bain, another one of the outstanding Villanova freshmen who got up to a great start, scored in double figures his first 7 games. Since then has been kind of up and down, only 1 double-figure game, and also a sophomore. Dowdell, who was under the all-rookie team last year.
Mark adds a little spice to the lineup, too. Really dedicated, hard-working type of player.
Murdoch decides to take it down the lane, gives it up to Bent.
Drive, draw, and dish.
Greg Bent, a junior college transfer, just into the lineup. A left-hander puts it in. Dowdell to Walker. From behind, it's kicked by Carlton screen.
I think he gets the foul, too.
Yes, he does.
Did you notice the ability of Providence to pressure and get back? And, of course, screen almost came up with it, but they don't give away the break. Good hustle. They do not quit on their pressure.
Keep in mind, too, that Greg Woodard is wearing basically a flak jacket type device because of some badly, and I mean badly, bruised ribs. They thought when it first happened that the ribs were broken. So he is equipped with a special protection underneath his uniform. You'll see some strange looking flaps at the top, but that's because of what's underneath.
It's like a quarterback, huh?
Yes, sir. Walker outside at 16-10. It's the biggest lead of the first half. Right through the hands of Grice. Screen. Bragg trails, and Screen pulls up for the jumper, bending in.
Real heady play right there. Rowley with the quick timeout. The pressure of pushing the ball down the floor.
Massimino takes the timeout for Villanova. It's an 8-point deficit right now. 12:54 to go first half. It's 18-10. A word from your local station.
Well, John, you see Villanova retreating, everybody backing up, and the good pull-up. He's got the dish if he wants, and that's continual. They complement their full-court pressure with their ability to run the basketball.
Wildcats taking a timeout here in the first half. They've fallen behind by 8 points. It's 18-10. Chris Walker being hounded by Screen.
Grice has got to be a factor. They got to get back in it right away. They can't get behind by a lot. They're not a quick scoring club.
Screen got a piece of it. This copyrighted telecast is produced by authority of the Big East Conference and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Big East Conference is prohibited.
I don't know what's going on. The two officials having a discussion. Oh, changing the shot clock, I say.
Frank Scagliotta and John Moreau.
Little conversation. Nice to see them getting along early. It's late in the game. You want the officials to get along.
That's true. 34 seconds is what the shot clock shows. Woodard inside Bain's turnaround jumper, good.
Now here's a kid that has to get on track. He's a talent. He's got great shots going to the goal, and he's been struggling. And you know, it's tough to be a young kid. You're trying to adjust or acclimate to the student life, and of course the exams.
Burton misses. Grice with the rebound, looks to Woodard.
To finish the thought, John Olive said the examination schedule was tough on Aaron Bain.
Bain gets the rebound. We're into the lane. Left hand, nice move.
Oh, there's one of those releases.
Aaron Bain bringing the Wildcats back. It's now the Friars by 4.
Bragg's got
Well,
Grice.
he wants it too, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So, okay, fine. Here it is.
He gets it where he doesn't want it, though.
We've got Mark Dowdell called for the foul. His first.
But you figure if Bragg gets the basketball and Grice comes out, he should be able to bounce by him. Down on the box, I think the advantage is to number 33, Tom Grice.
And some changes now. Trent Forbes, the freshman, is in the lineup. He's got the basketball, gives it to Conlon. Shamsuddin, Murdoch, and Bent, the other Friars out there right now. They turn it over. And that is the first turnover of the game by the Friars. 5 for Villanova at this point. Villanova off to a good start shooting. The problem is, Billy, that Friars have had more shots.
But Charlie, got to get shots. That particular post pass, not a bad look. The postman back on his heels. Over the years, they haven't turned the ball over much. I was shocked to see the number they had up in Providence.
David Miller with it on the court for the first time. He missed the first part of the season because of that dreaded injury that all basketball players seem to be suffering, the stress fracture.
Straight up, man.
Dowdell jumper short. Grice pushed off, I think.
Good call, John.
But when you see bodies moving like that, you know somebody was.
Tom didn't have enough size to get the rebound, so he wanted a little more room. But here's just the right arm, clears out, and a good reaction by Dean, too. You got to let the officials know.
Leading by 4, the Friars come back. Got Aaron Bain inside defensively with his first personal foul. That's 5 now on the Wildcats, so each team with 5 team fouls so far in the first half. Well, Rick Barnes is thinking tournament, isn't he? He wants to get his club.
That's what he said to us. There's a couple of more wins in both these clubs. Villanova needs this one badly, too, to get on track. Good pressure man. Rowley in high school was a great man-to-man coach. Goes coming to Philly.
Forbes with a jumper. Grice with a rebound.
Coming to Philly, the cradle of all those zones. He picked them up quickly.
Murdoch went for the steal.
Double tick. Didn't get it, though.
Barnes said it went off Aaron Bain's shoulder. Well, he doesn't have a vote in this situation.
No, there's only 3 guys that count. Because you can't put the ball up for grabs against Providence. It's got to be a snap type of pass.
Woodard is fouled by Murdoch.
But they really do go pressure you, don't they? Eric Murdoch up and with the tag, and Rick Barnes a little animated. Said the BC game was a tough one for him. Knew he needed it. It's just a reaction to the pressure now. Maybe a little bit of a nickel-dimer that you could have played on, but just great reaction by Murdoch.
10 minutes and 28 seconds to play first half. The last 4 points have been scored by Villanova.
Dean really shoving Grice out, giving himself a chance to get some assistance.
James Bryson is now in the lineup too as Miller penetrates. Bryson can't go over the back of Conlon. Marty moves it to Forbes. Forbes spins it inside. Marquise Bragg up, over, bending off. This time Shamsuddin does try to come over the back, and he will pick up his second personal foul. We talked about Villanova's shooting and the problems that they have had. Rick Barnes, of course, hoping to take advantage of that. Villanova just not being able to put the ball in the hole.
Rick Barnes' club will foul, and they'll go after you. But crash the glass, and of course Rolando, knowing that he's a little bit caught up in this thing now. He likes to control the game, maybe dump it in, and you get behind a little bit, you got to get some easy baskets, and he knows it.
Miller, a good foul shooter, who isn't when it comes to Villanova, and we're at the 10:02 mark. Villanova will be at the line for all the fouls the rest of the way. So there it is.
You happen to be looking at the scoreboard, and just then on the foul shot, Forbes went to screen Miller and knocked him right across the floor.
Miller's second. He has 4 points in the game. So that's 6 straight points for the Wildcats, and now the Friars lead is down to 2.
And Villanova having gone to man-to-man, that's the reason.
There's a steal. Picked out of there by David Miller.
And when you go after people, you can sort of change the tempo, too. A different Villanova team the last few minutes.
Long skip pass to Woodard. David Miller and Lance Miller are brothers. David the sophomore, Lance the freshman. Both from Bridgewater, New Jersey. Bryson loses it underneath. It's picked up by Shamsuddin.
He made himself small with the dribble.
Marquise Bragg, who had a career game against Georgetown, finds Murdoch. He'll go to the line to finish the 3-point play.
Tom Grice from behind. Well, quick cutting certainly impacts on your offense. And right here, Marquise looks like he's stuck, but a bailout by a quick cutting Rick, as his cousins call him, Murdoch. And Tom Grice in a disadvantaged position for the swipe.
I'll tell you one thing about Providence. They were very loose and relaxed prior to this game. Great attitude. Murdoch completes the 3-point play. He's got 5 in the game, and the lead goes back to 5 at 21-16.
Well, Rhodey's been around, and Barnes is a comer, as they say. Everybody respecting the job he's done and what he's done this particular season. And again, the recruiting, a great recruiting year. One of the top-ranked teams in the country for next season.
Miller doesn't go, and the foul is called underneath.
I don't know if they got Bragg for this one. Interestingly enough, Rick Barnes just talked to us before the game about where you step in and pick up the charge, and he would like to see a circle or an arc out by the box because he tries to get his kids to set up that far from the basket.
The foul was called on Chris Watts, number 33, who's in the lineup for the Friars. You talk about a recruiting class for Providence as Lance Miller goes to the line, and it includes Troy Brown from Brockton, Mass. The problem is he's got a knee injury that's bothering him. Michael Smith, of course, he's a great one out of Washington, D.C. Miller's short. The third member of the other members of that crew, Robert Phelps, he's from Brooklyn, and Dickie Simpkins. They're talking about this being the greatest recruiting class they've ever had at Providence.
Well, the great thing about coaches is they're really excited when they recruit a big class or a good class, and then when they become freshmen, they complain that they're only freshmen. They have a lot to learn.
Bragg at the other end as they quickly turn it around the other way, and Taylor will pick up the foul. That's 3 on Rodney Taylor.
Rowley just put his hands up. You've got to get back, and you've got to sprint down the floor because Providence, after a miss or a make, is explosive.
3 on Rodney. We were talking also to Rick Barnes about the 6 foul rule, and he didn't seem to think it had been a big factor so far.
He'd like a few more.
The one thing that Marquise Bragg does not do very well is shoot foul shots.
No, he doesn't. And it's really a lot of empty trips during the course of the year, and he can be a disadvantage late in the game.
Woodard returns, so once again, now we'll have a 3-guard offense in there, basically. No, I guess not. But we've still got...
He's bent over down there, Tom.
Bragg makes 1 out of 2, which is a little better than his percentage. You've got Walker out there along with Woodard. That's Lance Miller, Byrd, and Grice.
That's the first run and jump.
3-pointer from Walker, straight away, and he hits it. Walker with the 3. That's his 35th of the year. The lead is back to 2 again.
Well, that should help Grice, too. Look at this pass.
Shamsuddin up, bending off. Keeps it alive, though. Here's Conlon. Rejected by Grice, his second block.
The eraser.
Chris Walker trying to give Screen a little of his own medicine. He got a piece of the ball and went off screen and out of bounds. That'll get him alive here in Villanova. Marvin Sadler will come on for the first time, replacing Shamsuddin.
When Rowley pulled the string and went man-to-man, the whole nature, the whole personality of Villanova changed. They become more aggressive on both ends.
The Wildcats trying to win their first Big East game at home this year. Providence looking to grab a share of second place in the standings. Screen. Sadler and Conlon trailing. It'll be screen. Conlon scramble on the floor. Out of the hands of Sadler it goes, and it'll be Villanova ball. Disappointing, I know, for Providence not to get anything out of that. We have a timeout called with 7:53 to play. It's 22-20. Providence leading Villanova here at Villanova. Tom Grice can definitely be a factor inside.
Well, they've really turned it up a notch on the perimeter. And Tom, like the great centers, they can channel the ball. And the Sultan of SWAT rises to the occasion. He could really use a good month to help this club. He's got to become consistent. He's been a disappointment for Rowley. Got real good as a sophomore and then sort of leveled off a little bit.
Here is Miller.
I don't think Rowley would say it as nicely as I just
Probably not. Walker down the lane. Waved the basket off.
A lot of flailing by Sadler in there. I don't know if they got him for it.
That's exactly what they did. Sadler picks up the foul. We'll have, at the conclusion of this game and during every game televised with the Big East Conference Television Network, we'll be selecting the Plymouth Player of the Game. The selection is part of the Chrysler Corporation sponsorship of Big East basketball. And also coming up at halftime, we'll talk about the Dodge and the Plymouth Player Rookie of the Week in the Big East Conference. And certainly everybody trying to turn up the pressure at the midpoint of the season.
What's going on right now, John, is they've got the right guy shooting, and now they're going to switch it. Woodard got pushed on the box, and he went to the foul line. And it was off the ball, and now they're putting Miller on the free throw line. So Rick Barnes, alert, won his point. Now he wants Byrd to shoot now. He's going for it all.
For sure.
Miller at 78, not bad.
Yeah, but Byrd under 70.
Right.
If you got to pick your poison, you go with that which is least toxic.
Small doses.
Well, Woodard has only made 92 out of 107. You know why he didn't want him at the line.
Lance Miller was excited about playing against Murdoch today. Look at this follow. Very quick. As advertised. Byrd.
It's 23-22, the first lead of the ball game for Villanova. Well, the Wildcats have scratched back to take the lead. And that's what he does best. Great jumper, works hard inside. Conlon wins the battle with Grice, has it knocked away by Woodard. Sadler inside, he's fouled. The foul is on Grice. That'll be 3 on Tom Grice.
Now, Marty Conlon really didn't have any right to get that rebound. Terrific work ethic going after the ball. But on the other end, we talked about the little things that Byrd can do. Slides by the screen of Sadler and a sent it in. Strong finish.
Sadler to the line. And we have James Bryson replacing Grice, who has 3 fouls. A technical foul has been called on Rolly Massimino. John Moreau going over to indicate the technical foul.
You know why he was mad? He was mad at his players. They did not rebound. And of course, who do you take it out on? The guys with the painter whistle.
Sadler makes that one.
Big change in the game right now.
Carlton Screen, who has only made 67 of his last 69. You know he's going to knock it home. He's hitting about 90%.
We're talking a possible 7-point play right here. If they get a 3.
Well, you got to remember that Sadler missed his first one, though. So
That's right, so 6. Excuse me, right. They couldn't get fouled on the 3.
That's true, you're right. Okay, correct. Murdoch rolls it home off the baseline. Oh, what a soft touch.
That was not real pretty.
No, it wasn't, but it carried home. And the Friars are back to a 4-point lead, aided by that technical foul. 6 minutes and 45 seconds to play in the first half. Byrd trying to set a screen. He'll shoot. Bends off the back of the rim. Foul called on the rebound.
And Sadler just really didn't get good position. Miller up pretty big for a guy who's played an occasional point guard.
So Sadler with his second. Marvin was suspended by his coach for a couple of games earlier in the season. Miller at the line for the 7th time. He's 4 out of 6 here in the first half. Bryson again saves it for Villanova. 2 straight opportunities to get the ball back on missed foul shots.
They've done a good job reacting, and Providence has not.
Walker pressured by Carlton, screen. Conlon is out on Byrd. Here's Miller.
Nice play by Conlon.
Loose basketball. Woodard has it. He is fouled on the play by Quentin Burton.
You throw that pump fake, you get some reaction. Woodard just drawing the defense. But Providence denying the basketball. Nice turn I mentioned on Conlon, and look at this. The Hoyas. Little
Rebound time.
tough day of practice, I'm sure, after the Syracuse game. They're ready.
We mentioned the ability of Woodard. Those are his Big East numbers, and overall for the season, they're not much different. Right about 90%. Brought him in here to be a big shooter, a three-point shooter. He really hasn't done that so far. Struggled a little bit last year as a freshman with his shooting.
Hasn't found that comfort zone. A lot better of late. Last month.
Aaron Bain checks in. Woodard sits down. Right now, you have 4 freshmen and a sophomore on the court for Villanova. Conlon off the baseline to Murdoch. Trying to get out of traffic, and does.
Well, that's why Roley is up and down. The young kids.
Bain almost came up with a steal. Burton now from the corner. Screen. Traveled. He made the bluff pass, and he moved at that point. UConn, meanwhile, the surprising leader, playing UMass of the Atlantic 10 and leading by just a point in the first half.
That is a surprise, because they really use the floor, Providence. Good ball reversal, screen with the ball fake, and then drag the foot.
Of course, UMass did get off to that good start in the Atlantic 10. So they've beaten some people. Miller for 3. It's his second. Lance has 10 so far. It's 27-27. Deflected by Miller out of bounds. So Lance Miller did not play particularly well Saturday against Seton Hall, and he's off to a great start tonight. 10 points. That's what you were talking about. The freshman, some nights great, some nights not so great.
Very unquestionable. It's very difficult to count on them consistently, and with so many, it's a dilemma for Roley. But one of the problems for Rick Barnes, they'll get it to the box, and a lot of guys can't finish plays for him. That's why he needs somebody to step forward each night on the low post.
Dowdell is on the court now. The foul will be on Chris Walker. That's his first personal foul.
It's like Money in the Bank with that giveaway.
Peter Pavia made the call.
Off the screen with an opportunity to get 2 freebies.
And Carlton off to a good start. He's at 9, could go into double figures. 5:14 remaining first half.
A few scouts here this evening. And this is one of the guys, Richie O'Connor, who's a Dallas Mavs scout, taking a look at Carlton's screen. And of course, everybody comes in and sneaks a peek at Tom Grice. And it's up to him, I think, whether he's ever going to get the opportunity. He's got the size, he's got the touch, he's a good passer, but it's getting those puppies up and down, and how much he loves the game.
4 for 4 is Screen at the line. He has 11 points in the first half. Dowdell is in the lineup now to add at least another sophomore to the crew. Very young. Villanova. Starting out with 10 freshmen and sophomores on his squad.
Good retreat then by Providence. They ran a little zone pressure that trip.
Bain against Burton. Here's Dowdell. Walker got his man out of the way and cashes it in.
Nice play by Dowdell as well. Heads up play by Walker with the old pump fake.
Tied at 29. 4:40 to go. We're still in the first half. This is John Sanders along with Billy Raftery. Screen. Charge.
They got to walk before. You're right, John. They got to walk before.
Yep. So,
boy, can he move those feet, though.
Erase that foul, and just the turnover. Screen will sit down for a moment. Watts is back on.
Quick feet. And Walker at a disadvantage. Pretty good position. Would have been a charge if he hadn't walked.
Byrd almost lost it for a moment. Miller to Dowdell. Here's Bain against Conlon. Now decides to take it in the lane. Lays it home. Beautiful move. Aaron Bain with 3 baskets in the first half.
Now he's a player. He's got to really.
Murdoch leans in. It bends off. And it will stay where it is. Providence basketball.
Finishing my thought with Bain, he's really got to look for himself. I mean, he can do some exciting things. He also had a pass at the end of that floating hook shot. Look at this.
Bain with a steal. He'll take it in against Burton and back it away.
Pretty good composure.
Didn't like his position on the court. This is for 3. Good. Walker has 2 3-pointers, and Villanova has a 5-point lead. First time they've been able to open up any kind of margin in the first half. Conlon inside, lays it in.
Nice look by Murdoch, and of course Conlon, the hold off, and then the drop step.
Foul goes on Quentin Burton. It is his second. But we will be shooting. Checking into the lineup is Tony Turner. For Providence, we have seen all 11 Friars so far in the first half.
Oh, they lace them up. Rick's going to use them.
3:34 to play in the first half. You know, we touched briefly on the recruits of Providence and how good they think that class is. Murdoch rebounds the miss. They have Anthony Pell, who's almost 7 feet tall, and Ron Wilson, who's 6'10", coming to Villanova. The foul will be on the newcomer to the lineup, Tony Turner.
They're pretty happy with the recruits, and they do need some size, especially with Bryce moving on.
Rick Barnes' 3rd year as a head coach, so as you mentioned, he really is a baby in the coaching ranks. There's been some criticism of Rick, saying that because of that he hasn't been able to win the close games. They lost 11 games last year by 4 points or less.
Well, how about P.J. Carlesimo a few years ago? Until he beat Louis Conaseca, people were saying he couldn't coach. And it just takes time to establish a track record against these big names in this league.
That's right. You have to establish your own identity, do you not?
Sure you do. Of course, the big thing about being around, you get the benefit on occasion.
The lead is 3 as Turner comes over, but Conlon doesn't go to him.
They've done a great job on the guards. Miller and Chris Walker have really been nose-to-nose on Murdoch and screen.
Shamsuddin misses the shot inside, gets the ball back, jump hook good.
That's the finish I'm talking about now. Dean should have made the first shot. It was a chippy. And that's what they need when they run that ball in low.
Dowdell cannot save it. It is 34-33. Villanova by 1. We have 2:36 to play in the first half. Back to Villanova after this. Side.
We talked about Providence using the floor. Villanova for years has reversed it from the center spot. Good look by Dowdell and the step in.
And they're shooting 71%. Shamsuddin inside now.
Well, that's his follow on his own miss. And here, a little turnaround jump hook nailed. But he's got to make that first one, particularly with some of the teams they have to play in this league and the size problems they present.
The Friars at one point led by 8, now down by 1.
2-3.
Don't think Conlon will shoot that 3 out there if he gets a chance. Burns faces the basket and travels. In a bit of a hurry to move around Mark Dowdell.
Yeah, he was. He should have kicked it out and got set. Of course, Murdoch had filled on the box and brought his man down into the area. Even though it was a matchup, he should have stayed away.
Woodard, here's Bain alone. Scores.
Nice look.
Aaron Bain with 8 in the first half.
He's having himself a half, isn't he?
Well, you said someone had to step forward, and Bain has to a certain extent. Here in the first half, a 3-point lead for Villanova. Lance Miller playing well also with 10 in the first half to lead the Wildcats. The Carlton screen leads Providence with 11. Murdoch can't hang on. Walker with Miller. It'll be Walker all the way. Missed the shot. That'll be goaltending. Basket interference.
Huh. Wow. I think Providence touched this on the miss. You can see the defense.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, coming into the picture.
Watch who scoops it off. Looks like Shamsuddin. Although it was a Villanova player.
They were right there, I thought. Yeah, there was a Villanova player, no question. But at the end, whew, that was an unusual little play. Frank Scagliata right on it, though.
We were kind of screened off from the Villanova player inside, but he might have had a piece of it as well while it was on the rim.
Pretty good call. He touched it first, and Rowley puzzled.
Rowley was screened also. Here's Shamsuddin at the line. Cuts the lead to 2. Just over a minute and a half to play in the first half. Six points for Abdul Shamsuddin. Nova's lead is back to 1 again. Biggest lead for Villanova has been 5. The Friars have been up by 8.
Even in the zone, they stayed at home on screen and Murdoch.
Inside out again. Bain can't hang on to it, but he scrambles underneath and they get the held ball.
That's the kind of play they need.
And the possession arrow will keep it in the hands of the Wildcats. Coming on is Bent. Keep in mind, we will have some special activities coming up for you at halftime, including a look at this outstanding crop of freshmen for Villanova. And we will also have our Dodge and Plymouth Rookie and Player of the Week. And more from Big East activity. We'll get a foul called on Murdoch.
Yeah, the whole. I noticed Providence on offense. Murdoch made a couple of cuts that resulted in either jamming up the play or a turnover. And it's the good defense. They're not able to do the things with the dribble that they're used to. And Villanova's really creating some problems for them.
A minute 12 remaining first half. Lance Miller is 4 out of 7 at the line. James Bryson set to check back in for the Wildcats. Dowdell will set. Dowdell with ankle problems early that caused him to miss a game, and now that severely bruised rib area. Miller hits the first. He's got 11. The Wildcats are 7 of 13 at the line. That's well below their norm.
Because over the years, they had such a good inside game that they were always on the foul line. Lived on it. Prospered on it.
A dozen now for Lance Miller. A 3-point lead again for Villanova. We're closing in on the 1-minute mark, first half.
There's that 2-3 matchup, but they're always on number 11 and 14. They're not giving them that 3-point jumper.
Screen steps into the foul line. That's his area, but it's too hard. Burton keeps it alive. Now they scramble for it, and Shamsuddin rakes it in.
They're very good at faking and dribbling by, aren't they?
Here's 3 that's off the front end, and a foul called underneath. Foul is on Aaron Bain.
Dean thought he had fouled. He was ready to go to the other way.
He was ready to walk the other way.
Oh, I'm guilty, Your Honor.
And it was Quentin Burton who was saying, no, we're staying here. We're staying here.
He took it. He was ready to be frisked and led away, huh?
It is the second foul on Aaron Bain. Number 44 was guilty that time, and Shamsuddin is at the line where he is 2 for 2. Has 6 points in the first half. Shamsuddin has never been a big scorer, Billy. He has not ever put big offensive numbers on the board.
I thought when he came in, he would be, though. I thought he would turn the corner a little bit, be a late bloomer of sorts, and contribute for it.
Bryson out and Dowdell in. Staten Island. Bain with a rebound. It's a 2-point Villanova lead. Shot clock is off. 33 seconds remaining first half. Bain fouled by Shamsuddin. He's got 3. Shamsuddin is the only Providence player with 3. We have Taylor and Grice with 3. We have not seen much of Tom Grice since he picked up that 3rd foul.
You've got to bring extra pens when you work a Providence game because they have a number of fouls you got to mark down. They give them regularly.
Shamsuddin will set for the final 29 seconds. 38-36, Bain to the line. And we mentioned Aaron Bain with double-figure games in each of his first 7. What a way to start out in the Big East and in your collegiate career. Aaron misses the foul shot.
Turned out to be a pretty good foul.
So a chance with 23 seconds to go for Providence to get a halftime tie or maybe the lead. Here's Watts. Watts strictly a 3-point shooter. Some banging underneath. It'll go the other way, and it'll be on Marquise Bragg.
Not a good one at all. Don't get a shot, empty trip. You've got to use good judgment.
And you put the other guy on the foul.
Absolutely. I mean, there's times to be physical and times to make a presence and let the opponent know. And Rick Barnes giving a lesson.
He's letting him know.
In that area.
Bryson to the line. Fans off.
Look at this.
So one more chance for the Friars with 10 seconds to play first half. They're going to have to hurry. Watts has it blocked by Bain. That is the first half. Villanova will head to the locker room with a halftime lead. A slim one. It is a 2-point difference. 38-36 at half. A look at those Wildcat freshmen when we come back after a word from your local station. In the first half. Providence took 12 more shots, but shot only 38%. That's not surprising against Villanova. The improvement, though, for the Wildcats.
And you've got to get Murdoch and Screen out of the gate. They've had 16 shots, 6 for 16, therefore to 38%.
How about from the line, where the reputation was Villanova's, but they've shot only 50% in the first half. Providence at 73. 3-point goals. Villanova with the edge there, 4 out of 6. A couple of them for Walker and a couple for Miller. Each of those players had 2. But let's talk about turnovers. There were so many the first time these 2 teams played. They're even, and the points are basically even.
Pretty much, I think right
now. But that
now,
was a turnaround late in the half again.
Yeah, the pressure that Providence puts on you, it gnaws away. It's not something that's going to happen easily, that you're going to handle it every time down, and they changed the look, too.
Let's take a look at some highlights from the first half of tonight's game.
Great post up by Marty, and of course the fight for the basketball. That was just a gorgeous no-look dish by Marty. I thought Byrd did some good things for Villanova too. Occasionally he would force the issue, get a little bit out of control, as he did here against the pressure. But don't forget, he had that great offensive free for a finish, but that one turned into an easy goal for Carlton Screen.
Well, you talked about a freshman who has impacted in this game. It's number 44, Aaron Bain.
Well, this is a simple goal for him, but he can really make some exciting moves and deliveries as he goes to the tip.
Well, he was an outstanding prospect coming out of high school, and here he is working down inside for that turnaround jumper. He hangs just a bit and then puts it in the basket. Aaron Bain, whose team when he was in high school at Flint Hill Prep was 91-5.
I didn't like to lose, did they? But of course, when you think of Bain, he had a great start and then flattened out a little bit. In talking to John Olive, I mentioned that he was feeling his way, as all freshmen do, and then sort of settled back.
Well, you touched on a good point
after the exams.
So that's a good point. There's more to it than just playing basketball.
Well, the maturing, the feeling at home, the comfort zone.
We're underway. Conlon with Murdoch, Burton, Screen, and Shamsuddin against Walker, Miller. Grice starting the second half with Taylor and Woodard. So Grice does start the second half after Byrd started the ball game. Burton starts a move, pulls up, jumper won't go. Grice reaching out and is fouled by Shamsuddin, who quickly is the first man in real foul trouble. That's 4.
And that really was a necessary foul. Villanova going right back to the man-to-man. Rolly Massimino not wasting any time, being the aggressor early.
Walker with it, screen as Conlon comes up to help.
Yeah, that's their little run and jump where they'll sniff, see if they can help their partner. Trouble.
Wildcats get it into Grice.
Trouble.
Hook shot, not much that Shamsuddin could do about it, but that's only the second basket of the game for Grice.
I just let him settle too deep. He owns
for
you.
three, too hard.
Like Marty Conlon may have gotten away with a swipe there. But did you notice Grice just settled on the box? You really can't. You got to bounce him out a step or two.
Not everybody was happy at halftime for the Wildcats, even though they led by 2.
Now, where are you dining later, John? I'll meet you there.
You get the table. Conlon with a jump shot, good. Marty with 5 in the first half, now has 7. Carlton Screen with 11 points to lead the Friars in the first half. Miller had 12. Walker had 8. And off the bench, Aaron Bain had 8, and the turnover gives it back to Providence.
Well, when you're pressed, you've got to throw the ball directly to somebody. You can't put it between partners, as Tom Grice did, throwing it to both Woodard and Rodney Taylor. You can't leave any question in their minds.
Bain for Woodard. Marquise Bragg is on for Providence. Screen out front, Burton. Now Murdoch.
They're really picking a little hole. Conlon very astute in this matchup, finding a spot.
Burton's jumper is short. He's simply been off in his shooting. This is the 4th game in a row that Quentin Burton has struggled with his shot. Taylor with it. Foul line jumper. No good. Miller with a rebound loose. Picked up by Marquise Bragg. Murdoch ahead with screen trailing. Missed the shot, but Bragg is there and fouled by Grice.
Chris Walker got away with... got there so late. This is a very pretty pass, and I thought he was moving into the defender. It causes the miss. I think you got to call that one.
They did not. They did call Grice, and that's 4 personal fouls on Tom Grice. He and Shamsuddin are in the same boat, and right now it's rocking on the sidelines.
Man-to-man on the out of bounds.
They get it into Bragg. Carlton Screen will reset. 18 minutes to play in the game. It's a 2-point difference, same as halftime. It's 40-38. Murdoch's battling Miller. It's loose. Burton might have walked a bit.
I'll get the kick out. The cousins playing one another. Miller and Murdoch.
Screen for 3. Hits the back of the rim and comes out. Miller with it. Chris Walker to Aaron Bain. Knocked away, new 45 on the clock. We mentioned Burton's shooting. He has made only 3 out of his last 19. That's the struggle it's been for him in his last 4 games.
And Carlton Screen, too, with that open jumper, not making it either. He's got to get perky for Providence.
The other Cuz, David, replacing Walker for the Wildcats.
Must be some schoolyard, huh? You got to be related to play in Bridgewater Raritan.
Burton had it, but Screen winds up with it tipped away from him out of bounds.
A pretty good catch. You can see that's the home court advantage.
Boy, he was going about 90 miles an hour when he slammed through the Providence bench.
It's a great recognition, too, by Miller, knowing.
He's all right. Little help from my friend. Screen will work against him and lay it in. Good quick move by Carlton Screen.
He's got to take over.
Screen with 13 to lead the scoring for Providence. It's a 40-40 tie. 17 to play. Lance to David. The Millers teaming up. Move it into front court. Dowdell now on. Seeing Taylor low. He got it.
Nice pass by Dowdell, but the cut by Taylor, set up by a little bump initially by Dowdell.
That foul will go on Taylor as Bragg hits the deck.
Rodney has a habit in that post area of stepping in front and pushing. They had run a little shuffle screen down the other end. Dowdell freeing Taylor. Now he gets the ball, and of course, the switch late by Conlon, and very fortunate not to give it a possible three.
But Taylor is also on the bench as he has picked up 4. Taylor has 4. Grice has 4 for Villanova. Shamsuddin sitting with 4 for Providence. The Friars have the ball, down by 2. Green backs away.
Straight up man right now, John. They're switching between this and that matchup.
The blocking foul called.
Peter Pavilion right on it. Tough to contain Carlton's screen.
The first on David Miller.
Not a bad try by David, though.
Second on the Wildcats here in the second half. Make it 3 now. 3 team fouls on Villanova. Just 1 on Providence. Walker back in and Miller out.
Now, we didn't talk much about this guy, Chris Walker, but he has become sound of play. Nice pick. Oh.
Screen with another basket. He's got 15.
Well, pretty well executed, huh? Somebody on that bench doing some homework.
Walker bumped by screen. And on Carlton, his 3rd. 16:20 to play in the game. 42-42 is the score. It was 38-36 Nova at halftime.
That's great to watch the different sets defensively.
Walker turned it over.
And Rick Barnes just backed the pressure off the half court. They've been going full, and all of a sudden Villanova did not recognize. He can't relax a little bit against the Friars. Here's the match right now, John. Everybody's got a guy in his area, and then exchange people as they cut or make a move.
A chance for the Friars to take the lead. Conlon's jump shot from long range rattles home.
Now, earlier I mentioned Marty finding holes. He's very good. He read that matchup, got between the 2 little guards.
Just stepped in a little bit, enough to put him in range. It's 44-42. Bain, low to Byrd, gets it back, long jumper, good. That's 10 for Aaron Bain for the 9th time this year, the freshman in double figures.
As he plays like this, he will not be the bane of their existence.
That's for sure. He'd be the bane of some other folks' existence, though. Murdoch, double team, kicks it to screen, Bragg, they go inside, then back out again, penetration. The shot does not go, the foul is on Greg Woodard for Greg, his first.
The experience, the step through like that. Ooh. Chris almost with a chance to get 3 as Greg Woodard caught on the side.
Well, Murdoch will go to the line. Dowdell will go to the bench. Walker, Miller, Woodard, Byrd, and Bain right now for Villanova. Screen, Murdoch, Burton, Conlon, and Bragg for the Friars, and Murdoch with a miss. 15-19 to play in the game. Eric Murdoch, the junior from Bridgewater, trying to break a 44-44 tie, and does. And with that, we will take a break. 8 points for Murdoch, a 1-point lead for the Friars. 15-19 to go. Don't leave us. We've got more basketball coming up from Villanova. From Providence, and Marty Conlon, we saw him a lot inside in the first half. He can also back away if he needs to.
Well, he's got Grice on him, and Tom unable to use those fleet feet to get out and contain.
Right now, Tom Grice is on the bench with 4 personal fouls. He and Taylor suffering from that problem right now. Miller gets it to Woodard.
Back up from the half.
Bain, who's had a strong game off the bench, 10 points for the freshman.
Interesting look. So they went to the half court. Now they're back full. Providence does not let you relax.
Villanova, 3 freshmen, 2 sophomores on the court right now.
And no size right now of any consequence. Might be a little more speed.
Woodard for 3, bends off. Conlon rebounds. He drew a quick crowd, no call. Here's screen. Inside, Bragg off the glass short, tries to follow Kent. Bain has it for Villanova.
Got to make those. That pass was on the money. Major league look.
Bain lost it going in. Play on, there are bodies everywhere. Well, let's see, we've got 4 people on the court.
That is great college effort.
4 laying down and 6 standing up on that play, and Georgetown wins it over Seton Hall by 22.
Ooh. Must have been a strong effort. The laundryman will be busy with these uniforms. Everybody down and dirty.
Tom Grice with 4 fouls, back on the court. He gets it from Woodard.
Good kick.
Walker moves to the foul line, reverses to Woodard. His shot is short. Burton with it, now screen. It's a 2-on-3 screen. Turns, hits.
Now that was a block, not called, but it shows Screen, who looks slight, his very strong physique. I mean, the blow by, huh?
He really built up over the summer. You look at his arms up close. Burton with a foul, and he is very muscular and very strong. He spent a lot of time during the summertime in the weight room. Remind you that we will be choosing our player of the game at the conclusion of this and during every game televised by the Big East Conference Television Network. It'll be the Plymouth player of the game, and the selection is part of the Chrysler Corporation's sponsorship of Big East basketball. Good candidate so far, too, for our Plymouth player of the game. Woodard still can't get that stroke going in the 3-pointers. Walker works the baseline. Tom Grice.
You mentioned Woodard, though. At least now he's still looking. That's the difference in his mental outlook.
A 1-point lead. Murdoch lost it trying to go inside. Burton actually with his body knocked it away, and Burton got it back. Screen for 3, no good.
Well, he's missing those open jumpers that he normally nails.
So a chance for Villanova to take the lead. Byrd starts down the lane, and he's bumped on the way in.
Is there any fear in that man?
None, obviously.
He is not afraid to bounce it in traffic, take his guy to the goal.
Bragg picks up his second. Here it is.
In the Georgetown game, Roley was talking about Byrd. He said he's fearless. He does some things Michael Jordan can do. I said, now, Roley, wait a second. He said, I'm telling you, he hasn't had a chance to show it, but he can.
Woodard with it. Each team with 4 fouls. 13-12 to play. Miller stripped away by Murdoch.
Murdoch. I think they're going to have an inadvertent whistle, maybe. They're going to give Villanova the ball. Peter Pavia. Now, let me tell you something. You don't see too many officials with this. Peter anticipated a foul. And now he's saying it wasn't a foul. We're going to give the ball back to Villanova. So I'm sure Roley would have preferred the foul shot.
Inadvertent whistle, right?
Yep. Well, they're not giving it to Villanova.
They're going to give it to Providence.
I guess with the strip, Providence got the ball, and they said they deserve it.
Roley just flops back in his chair.
Well, he respects Peter so much, that's the reason why.
This is a 3, and it's good.
If some rookie did that, Roley would have had his whistle and his license.
But you got to give Peter some credit for making the change.
Stepping up, that's right.
I think Grice didn't really move because he was straddling the line.
Well, it's okay to straddle.
Yeah, but you don't want to go one way and come back the other.
No. Well, actually, you can straddle and make the move to the backcourt.
Here's Miller. Now Walker. Woodard. Too hard. Conlon with good position. Nothing Grice could do about that.
Good check down.
A 4-point lead. Carlton screen. Gets the basket, and it'll count.
Well, Walker's gone to the well 3 times. Twice it wasn't called. You've got to move the feet. The quick puppies of Carlton screen, and he is by his man. And now the experience to release.
The lead grows to 6, a chance to go to 7. What a night Screen is having. 19 points so far.
And really not drilling the shot.
He's missed several easy threes.
For him.
Not that threes are ever really easy. These are pretty easy for him. All 5 tonight. He's now made 72 out of his last 74, and he hits the 20-point mark.
Now, Marty Conlon went out of the game. He has made himself into a bona fide rebounder. And he doesn't have a right to some of these current shots, and he just checks out and goes after them. He's done a great job on the glass.
I had an assistant coach tell me the other day that Providence is the most difficult team to scout another team against because they make you do things that you don't normally do.
Take you out of your action, and of course they're always deflecting, trapping, mixing it up.
Grice with it. Shamsuddin behind him with 4 fouls. Grice jump hook, bends off. Underneath, battle for it, and Murdoch comes out with a 3-on-1. He's got screen and Burton. It'll be screen off the glass and good. Carlton screen, 22 points. And Villanova.
Shamsuddin come up.
He came up limping, but Villanova is going to take a timeout. It's 55-46. The visitors from Providence have the lead at the 11:30 mark. Now a word from your local station. Troops to see who's there.
Well, he knows it's going to be finished if he goes this way and screen with the soft kiss. And if he doesn't make it, he'll draw the foul on occasion. Wise choice by Eric Murdoch.
.11:30 remaining. An 11-2 run by the Friars. They've opened the biggest lead of the game, up by 9 and 55-46.
Walker's been able to make some threes, but Screen's been staying at home, and the ball goes inside. They've taken that portion of the nice screen.
Miller alone on the baseline, missed the shot, tipped up and over the backboard, and will go the other way with it. So Providence with a chance to open up the first double-figure lead of the game.
Ooh. And just think that inadvertent whistle, and then a 3, and then another 3-point play, the traditional.
What a game for Carlton Screen, 22 points. 22 points away from his season high. Steps up, jumper, good.
That's a big league pull-up. Taking over.
He has 11, 24 to match his season high. His career high is 27. The steal by Murdoch. That's what they do so well.
Put the ball over his head, then behind it. There's Tom Grice. Normally pretty good at seeing people.
Shamsuddin tried to feed the ball low, had it batted away. It's 2 on 3. Walker takes the baseline anyway and goes out of bounds. Forced out of bounds, and the foul called on Marquise Bragg.
And he didn't shoot the ball. I think they're going to give him a non-shooting. He should have thrown the ball up.
For Marquise, foul number 3. Shamsuddin will sit down. The team fouls are even at 5 apiece. We still have a little over 10 minutes remaining in this one.
Good screen again by Villanova.
There's Bain, misses this one. Conlon with a rebound.
They keep putting the pressure on you, forcing the issue.
Green takes it in, then brings it out.
Little test.
I think Carlton's feeling it, though, don't you?
Yeah, he sure is. Villanova played good man-to-man to get back in it. They got to continue it.
Burton's turnaround is rebounded by Grice. Walker leads. Here's Byrd. Stripped away from him and a foul called. Again, it's Marquise Bragg, I think, who batted it away. And will pick up the personal foul. So Bragg quickly with 4. He becomes the second Friar with 4. Shamsuddin the other.
Now, Villanova in the first half to get back in really got aggressive. They may be a little tired, but they're going to have to reach back and go after Providence. And the one thing, Chris Walker's going to have to stay at home across the screen. Can't let him penetrate.
Stay right here! Right here!
Away from the ball, they've got Marquise Bragg again. Marquise is going to be gone before you turn your head. He's had 3 fouls in less than a minute. Villanova, meanwhile, has gone 3 minutes without scoring. 9:47 for the exit of Marquise Bragg with 5. Remember in the Big East. 6 before you're disqualified, and Bent comes on. those fouls, Billy, in addition to hurting him, hurt his team because it put him over the limit.
Because Villanova 2 now is going to have to use the floor a little more, and that only ignites his vaunted backcourt. You know, let them turn the corner. So they don't want to gamble, stay in front of the dribbler.
Bryce hits a pair. Tom has 8 in the game. Watts checks into the lineup for Providence. He has the ball. It's Nova with pressure. Conlon has it batted away from behind by Bryson, who's just into the game.
Good job containing.
Lance Miller to Walker for 3, bending off. Conlon had it, lost it, touched last by Villanova. Byrd was the last to touch it.
Well, everybody excited the building. I just thought both of them went after it.
Frustration for Villanova, 2-on-2, but the 2 are screened, and Murdoch screen at the basket.
Oh, is that a big time goal?
What a play, an unbelievable basket by Carlton Screen.
See, the gamble when you pressure them full, it starts these talented youngsters the length of the floor, and this is just a major league dip and tuck and release. Oh.
The foul is on Bryson. It is his first, and at the line, where he is perfect tonight, Screen will be looking to match his career high of 27 points.
Now, most guys are just hoping to get the contact and get to the free throw line, much less the finish by Carlton Screen.
And from this point on, as Screen does match that career high of 27, stretches the lead to 12, the biggest of the night. Will shoot everything from here on out. Steal attempt. Miller tracks it down. Now Aaron Bain. Baseline, no place to go.
Good seal off in the trap then.
Byrd carries it into the lane, spins it up short. Shamsuddin for the rebound. This is not a good position for Villanova to be in at the 9-minute mark.
Not at all.
Byrd goes for the steal, comes up empty.
Providence in no hurry that time. A little bump and then the shape up by Conlon.
Murdoch against Miller, pulls up for the jumper. It's too hard.
Silly foul by Dean.
Shamsuddin picks up number 5. 8:46 remaining as Shamsuddin.
Sadler comes in for him, but not a real good foul. The swat, maybe the ankle. He probably just felt he couldn't run back.
Bryson at the line, bending off. Sadler with a rebound. And if you're a Friar faithful, they have never led by this many and lost this year.
Now this kid has really turned it on this half.
Screen off the glass and good. He's got everything going his way. He must know that those scouts are here. That's a career high 29 points.
Is it really? He really has played within himself, and Rick Barnes, who talks to him about taking over, has reached him.
Miller with it. A 14-point lead with 8 minutes and 5 seconds remaining. Miller has it batted away by, Carlton Screen.
Who else? And he got himself inbounds before he touched it. Established position.
Murdoch for 3. Good. They're rolling now. Murdoch has 11. And Villanova is going to have to take another timeout. Nothing that Rowley can do but call time. Try to talk it over. Biggest lead of the night at 65-48. Providence more after a word from your local station.
Just a matter now of making their free throws or shots when given and getting something out of their press. The one gamble, though, John, is going over the top and starting a little break for Providence.
Bain hits the foul shot. Aaron has 14 in the game. Make it 15.
Boy, those eyes wide open on that free throw.
turnover gives it back to the Wildcats.
Oh, they're getting it in that Death Valley, that corner. And Villanova doing a good job feeding it into that area.
A 19-point lead has been trimmed to 13.
Good help here. How about the age of this team on the floor for Villanova?
Walker from long range. Bryson tracks it down.
Nice
Held ball. The arrow favors Villanova.
He just couldn't get turned around and protect the basketball. But a good effort. He had to go a few steps for that big rebound.
Well, again, they've got 3 freshmen and 2 sophomores on the court. Woodard, Walker, the sophomores. Bryson, Byrd, and Bain, the triple Bs, the freshmen. Somebody held Bain along the baseline. It was Sadler.
Intentional, they're going to call too.
That could be a big turnaround.
That's right, 2 plus the ball.
And Rick Barnes can't believe it. Sadler comes out. Shamsuddin is back.
Now this is a point in the game where Providence has to maintain their aggression on the offensive end. Not a real good foul at all. Detrimental to your cause. We're only getting back in this with guys who don't have driver's license, huh?
That's true. The kiddie core out here. Aaron Bain, if he hits this one, will match his collegiate career high.
Jay Wright, some words of wisdom in the back.
2, he's got 17 points. How about UConn and UMass? Well, it is UConn coming back. They got to be hungry because a couple more victories and they're looking at the NCAA.
They sure are. Billy Calhoun has them rocking and rolling.
The basketball to Bain, works the baseline, up and under. Aaron Bain, a new career high, 19 points. The Wildcats have cut it to 9 and they turn it over. Providence will have to take a timeout. They can't get the ball out of their own end right now. 6:03 to play. It is 68-59. Providence leading, but they'll have to regroup here at Villanova. Aaron Bain couldn't get the baseline earlier. He certainly does here around Marty Conlon.
He has arrived. Early in the year, I thought this kid was going to be absolutely sensational. Terrific going to the goal and really taking over.
A great second half for Aaron. He has a new collegiate career high. Of course, he was starting earlier in the year. He was getting a lot of playing time.
His confidence waned, and again, that emotional stabilization has to take place.
Walker penetrates, kicks it back to Woodard, who will track it down. Aaron Bain wants the ball now.
Providence needs a big stop.
Here's 3 for Bain. Murdoch the rebound.
Good check out by all the Friars.
The Friars would be happy to get it in the other end of the court for once.
They've struggled, but they can't back off. They got to still go to the goal. They can't change their personality.
5:35 to go. Screen has it batted away by Byrd. He'll take it home.
Send it in, Calvin!
Byrd slams it home. They slice the lead to 7. It was 19. Murdoch leads Shamsuddin. It's blocked and Villanova gets it back. Unbelievable.
Byrd! Great rejection.
Here's Woodard into the lane. Offensive foul. The second on Greg.
We are seeing some end-to-end competitors, and Calvin Byrd first the steal and the jam, and then back at the other end. Gorgeous.
The trap on screen, he gets away from it. Now screen will push, carries it in. The blocking foul is called. Villanova on a 10-0 run in the last 2.5 minutes. They're going to put Carlton Screen back at the line as Byrd picks up the foul.
Rick Barnes has to feel pretty good with a chance to stop the bleeding. I don't know about that particular call. When you have 2 great guards like Providence has, they can sort of get the composure, get control, and get their club back in the game.
Bob Grice comes on to replace Byrd. I'm sure Calvin will be back shortly. A lot of the Nova fans didn't want him to leave. Carlton's screen is 6 out of 6 at the line and a miss.
What they can get is Grice down low. A jump shot, not a bad move by Rowley. Byrd back up for the defensive end.
David Miller just barely held his dribble. Grice, turnaround jumper, good. Tom Grice in double figures. The lead is 5. A 12-0 Villanova run. Still plenty of time. 4:31 to play. Conlon gets the baseline. No place to go. Swings it back. Murdoch will penetrate. Hanging, can't hit. Loose. Miller had it. Woodard winds up with it. Villanova a chance to cut it to 3 or 2. Bain fouled by Conlon. 3 on Marty.
Villanova has really, and Rick Barnes is furious. He wanted a foul at the other end and didn't get it, but the man-to-man defense by Villanova.
Byrd is back, so is Walker. Bain with a 1-and-1 opportunity. He's made his last 4. Looking for his first 20-point game. Yes. What a foul.
Villanova's defense has just raised itself to the highest notch. I mean, they're just all over at the one end. And Rick Barnes wanted a block on the penetration by Murdoch. So these kids have really teed it up at the defensive end.
Aaron Bain hits his 6th straight at the foul line. 21 points for the freshman. Murdoch double-teamed, finds Conlon. He, in turn, finds Murdoch. Back to screen. The lead is 3. Providence is up by 19. They now lead by 3. That is history. Just inside, 4 minutes to play. Murdoch.
Like Greg Woodard and Murdoch are banging one another. They both better be careful.
Carlton screen with it. Conlon for 3. No good. Gets it back, up and in.
No right to get that rebound. Great effort by Marty Conlon. I mean, he knew, obviously, that it wasn't a good stroke. Really reacted beautifully.
That cuts off a 14-0 Villanova run. It's the first Providence basket in a long time.
And here comes Grice again. That little offense gives him some inside out. If he doesn't get the jumper, he can spot Bain or Woodard on a wing.
The Friars went 4 minutes without scoring a hoop. They get one to push the lead back to 5. 3:20 remaining.
A killer game, John. We made your hearts out there.
Woodard for 3, no. Foul is on Aaron Bain. Bain got a piece of Shamsuddin that time in scrambling for the ball. 3rd foul on Aaron Bain. What a night for that freshman. 21 points.
I just like what I just saw. A little quick shot there by Woodard, and Grice said, give me the ball. Because he really can make things happen for Woodard and Bain, as well as himself if he doesn't have the jumper.
It is Woodard, Walker, Bain, and Miller, along with Grice.
57%.
Shamsuddin bending off. Grice with a rebound. 70-65. Villanova down by 5. 3:05 remaining.
Little inside screen for Grice. Big target.
Grice has it. Conlon knocks it away. Shamsuddin winds up with it. He loses it to Aaron Bain. They scramble for it.
Now tell me these kids don't like the game. Absolutely all-out pursuit.
I think it's going to be Providence basketball when all is said and done, and everybody's cleaned up off the floor. Watch this.
You've done a lot of football in your life. You handle this one.
Absolutely.
Oh, this is just terrific.
This is like an end around one way and then reverse the other way.
Just another league game, middle of the season, meaningless. Oh.
2:48 to play. Murdoch in trouble along the baseline. Calls time. He got it just in time. It's timeout number 2. 2 remaining for Providence. We have 2:48 to play. Providence's 19-point lead is down to 5.
Today, U.S.
It was 67-48 Providence. It's now 70-65 Providence. What a great run by Villanova.
Sure is. Now they're pressuring full. There's nobody back in a free safety. They have to be careful of the home run.
Conlon, who threw it in, gets it back. Walker on screen. Turnover. Byrd has it. The pass too far for Marty Conlon. So again, the Wildcats with a chance to cut the lead to 3 and maybe 2.
Their D has been just great.
Woodard to Bain for 3 from long range, bending in. Aaron Bain with 24 points. It's a 2-point game. Amazing comeback by Villanova.
While Screen and Murdoch have to really take it over. I mean, they're the money players for Rick Barnes, the experience, and what a run.
A 20-3 burst in the last 5 minutes. You know, for a while, Screen was making everything. When he stopped scoring, so did the Friars.
Yeah, they really haven't looked to the goal as aggressively.
Murdoch hanging off the glass and good. There he comes to the rescue.
Those two are too tough to contain for the whole second half here, the latter stages anyhow.
We're inside 2, a 4-point difference.
They've got to force Villanova to use some clock. Now it's an outside team.
Miller carries it in. Count the basket, and the foul is called on Quentin Burton. That'll be 5 on Burton. Oh, Miller was not going to be denied, was he?
You think you can see how late Burton stepped in. You think he's grown up a lot?
Lance Miller's first basket in the second half. He had 12 in the first half, but a key basket here.
Of course, Providence has to be careful. That corner has been a problem for them when they inbounds against the press. And of course, once they get down, get in their set, and get it in the hands of Pont Screen. Yep, backing it up.
A 1-point difference in the game. A minute and 30 seconds remaining.
Now, Marty Conlon might cause some problems with Woodard. Here's a delay until late in the shot clock.
The shot clock has just moved inside 30. Screen pressured by Walker. Here's Murdoch popping out. 20 seconds shot clock. The count is on. 12 seconds shot clock. Now inside 10. Burton pops out.
Conlon.
Here's Conlon low. Lays it in.
Major league play by Providence.
And a foul on the play. The foul is on Byrd underneath. Conlon with a chance with a 3-point play.
Well, Conlon's so alert. The switching and maneuvering freed him. He knows when he's got a spot on the floor, gets there. They acknowledge him with the pass. They got everything out of that set. Used the clock till late. They got a chance for 3 as well.
Grice comes back in replacing Byrd. Good call, Billy. You said that Conlon might be a problem for them.
Oh, they just didn't have a good match. It was Woodard on him, and he jumped out, left him alone.
The 3-point play, and a big, big one it is. The timeout will go to Providence.
That is just great basketball there. Now, Rowley's kids came thundering back with great aggressive passion on defense. And all of a sudden on the ropes, you got Murdoch and, of course, caught the screen to do some damage. But Marty Conlon's a guy that's come up with some big rebounds and, of course, finding a lane, getting position, and that positive outlook to go strong knowing he can finish.
Marty Conlon with 17 points now. Carlton Screen, who helped push Providence to that 19-point lead. 29 for him, a career high tonight. And on the other hand, the tip of the hat to Aaron Bain. Aaron with a couple of three-pointers, 24 for the freshman off the bench. A tremendous second half for Bain, 16 points in the second half. He helped lead the surge, get Villanova back in it offensively, but you have to base everything that Villanova did around their defensive play.
And they sure have. And I think he's gotten two players tonight, Rolly, Byrd and Bain. The Byrd for some excitement, and then, of course, the ability to go quickly to the glass. But the defense, the man-to-man, Rolly, as noted in high school, was a proponent of straight-up man pressure. And, of course, the zone nuances developing from that knowledge have certainly created them as a terrific defensive team, but they can go out and guard you man-to-man.
You saw the timeout graphic. 2 for Rolly, 1 for Rick. Still the full court pressure, less than a minute to play. We're at the 52nd mark.
Looking for the go to Bryce at some point.
Woodard takes it in, and a foul called on the way in.
I don't know why.
It'll be on Burton.
Not a wise play. Stopping the clock. They were a little out of sync. Bryce was not about to touch the ball, too. Woodard was trying to create.
Burton fouls out. 4th time this year, 3rd Big East game that he is fouled out of. So Burton 3 times has gotten 6 in a Big East game, and he will lead. Peter Pavia making sure he makes his way to the bench. And Rick Barnes will take a moment before making his decision. Marquise Bragg is standing. You know Marquise wants to come in the lineup.
I think it might be Watts. Let's see which way they go. Of course, the 32nd.
He's got both players ready to come in, along with Greg Bent. Meanwhile, a chance for Villanova to get an extra word with Rolly.
Rick talking to, he's got Watts coming in. He's talking to Larry Shyatt, Fran Fraschilla, and of course Danny Gavin as to what he wanted. And of course, you need the ball handling. He went small.
44 to play. Last time here, these two teams went to overtime in this building. Woodard rattles it home. And Villanova won that game. The only overtime loss of Rick Barnes' 2 years at Providence.
More guys on the floor, huh? Every play. Of course, making it now gets the defense, or gives them an opportunity to get set.
Woodard gets a pair. Foul called on Lance Miller. Rolly said he was on the sideline. He's got a broken foot as a result of his emphatic designation of that fact.
Rolly gets an escort service every time he goes out there. His assistant's making sure he doesn't get a tee.
It's a 2-point game with 43 seconds to play. Murdoch at the line, where he is 2 out of 3. This is the front end of the 1-and-1, and he nails it. 14 for Eric Murdoch.
Calm confidence.
He's the kind of kid that loves these situations.
They thrive on it. This backcourt.
Back to the 4-point lead. Still plenty of time remaining.
I don't want to give the foul and stop the clock. Of course, Villanova try and ring the bell as quickly as it shows.
Walker for 3. He's got it. Walker with 11. The timeout taken by Villanova. So each team has 1 remaining. We have 31 seconds left in the game and a 1-point difference. We talk about the play of Carlton Screen. He is averaging in his last 7 games almost 20 points per game. He has just been on fire offensively.
How about the way he's taken over his team, more importantly, for getting the points, the maturity, the confidence that he has in his own ability, extending to his teammates. But now, Rolly with an opportunity to go, if they get the 2 foul shots, of course, it makes it a 3-point game. So maybe a quick look for a steal.
How about the shot by Chris Walker? Walker's had his problems trying to stop screen, but yet you get down to 40 seconds left, boom, he hits a big three-pointer.
And they hadn't used that high pick and roll in a while, which really got him free. But it'd be interesting to see if Rowley goes for the steal, and then on the next pass tries to get it and give one, trying to keep that clock down.
Foul shooting at this point in the game. In the second half, Villanova, back to the Villanova type foul shooting. 11 out of 12 from the line in the second half.
Because Dean was on the floor when they went to the timeout. Not a good free throw shooter. And don't forget, Death Valley over in the corner by the Villanova bench. They forced the ball down there. It must be downhill.
Been a terrible area for Providence. They've had a heck of a time just getting the ball in. Now let's see what happens. Conlon shouts at Dean.
I'd force it to Dean and then give one, to be honest with you. I'd have sent it him deep. Pretty good play by Rick Barnes.
They did not beat the clock. They got the 5-second call. Villanova down by 1. Will have the basketball. Bryce is coming back quickly.
Oh. Well, you deny the ball. That's going to happen.
Barnes sees the 5-second call. Villanova has taken its last timeout. Providence has 1 remaining. Barnes not happy at all.
I think he felt it was a quick 5, and you know, I would be complaining too if I were him, but
absolutely,
this club has just come after Providence aggressively in half court at first, then full court, and now you got to think Bryce has got to touch it.
Well, you have to feel that part of this big crowd, 6,500 as always, was thinking about making an early exit when they were down by 19.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yep.
It's all caused by that Wildcat defense.
But they're into it now. A 1-point lead for Providence College. Providence has the only timeout remaining. The possession arrow favors Providence.
Rick Barnes has to be saying to his center, don't let Bryce settle low. Get him away from the box. Because if he can turn and shoot the jumper or make his step to the goal, he's a good free throw shooter as well.
.31 seconds to play. 77-76. Providence has the lead, but Villanova will inbound the basketball. Hang on. He got a foul on Woodard inside, and he got bumped in the forehead.
Oh, the screen away by Woodard, and John Moreau saying he was moving.
Woodard is down.
A set play, the screen away, and Rowley beside himself. And they better get a hold of him.
And they are attending to his left eye, as you can see in the picture.
This is just a simple screen, and if Woodard was moving, it's a good call. Well, he moved a little bit. I'll tell you, that is a tough call. You see the glazed look. The left eye. Hopefully he'll be okay. Of course, I know it's a bad call, but Rowley's got to get back. He is now. Get his team involved. 28 seconds, plenty of time.
Still just a 1-point difference in the game, 77-76.
John Moreau feeling Woodard called and moved the arms. Major league call by him.
To the line is Conlon, 2 of 3 from there tonight. And even if he hits both, as you mentioned, it's still just a 3-point game.
Boy, has he risen.
Guy that left the team 2 years ago. The first recruiting job Barnes had to do was with the Providence players.
Well, Marty always loved the school, so he had that going for him.
Hits them both. 19 for Marty Conlon. The lead is 3.
Bryce or the high pick and roll? High pick and roll for Walker.
Walker with 3. Good.
Oh!
Walker with a 3. It's a tie game, and Providence will take its last timeout.
And Murdoch did that on his own.
Barnes coming out to say, why did we call timeout? He didn't want it there.
No.
79-79, a tremendous game. Chris Walker has 14. Lance Miller has 15. Tom Grice with 10. Aaron Bain a career-high 24.
We've been talking about caught and screen, John, and Chris Walker having trouble guarding him. What a magnificent last 2 minutes by Chris.
Absolutely.
Oh, just drilling from deep to get him even.
Let's look at the shot one more time that ties the ball game with 16 seconds remaining.
And my man, Calvin Byrd, with the pick on screen, the delivery on target. Oh, this is as good a game as I've watched this year. Let me tell you, John.
That makes you the Birdman, right?
Oh, is he really done a marvelous job for Rowley, but Chris stepping up. He didn't pack the tack. You know, you can give it up when the guy is doing a number on you, as Carlton Screen did.
79-79. We'll see what Rick Barnes has in store. And for the Friars, 29, a new career high for Screen. Conlon with 19. Eric Murdoch with 15. Here we go. 15 seconds to play.
Marty Collins been able to post up, but I would think the guards are going to take it on a penetration.
We've got Rodney Taylor on him right now. Screen, down the lane he comes, batted away. Villanova has it with 2 seconds, out of bounds. 1 second remaining. The last time these two teams met in DuPont Pavilion, it went to overtime. But Providence will have one more crack at it.
What a strip. Now Marty can shoot the deep three.
He will. At the buzzer, good. Nope. It's waved off. John Moreau says no. No basket. John Moreau says no.
Wow.
And Barnes is all over him.
Now he better be careful he doesn't get a tee.
We're going to overtime.
Wow.
John Moreau, who was the official along the sideline who handed the ball for the inbounds play, waved off the three-pointer that would have won the ball game.
Oh, Moreau and Rick Barnes, you can't blame them at all for wanting it. We might get a chance to see the goal and the clock.
Let's take a look. Of course, that's what Providence wants to see. They're all looking for a replay. Here it is. There's the touch up.
Oh.
Boy, that is, how close can you get?
Ooh, huh? Ooh, I think you got to give it to him.
It was right there.
Oh.
Let's look again.
It's on the 0-0.
Oh, I tell you. That is close. And the signal from Moreau, he touched his fingertips, meaning he felt the ball was still
in his hand.
In his hand. Now let's listen for the horn if we can.
Because we don't have the tenths of a second on this clock.
Well, the horn, of course, was after the shot by far. Oh. We're into overtime.
Yeah, jump it up again. Tell you, John Moreau, first the call on Woodard, and then that call. I mean, he is showing some intestinal fortitude.
Each team will get a timeout in the overtime. The tip controlled by the Wildcats. They have scratched their way back in, clawed their way back in, down by 19. Walker, who's made 2 straight, make it 3. Walker with his 3rd straight three-pointer, and Villanova leads by 3.
And Rowley's gone to that high stuff for him.
Conlon to screen for 3. No. Rodney Taylor the rebound. Tom Grice says slow it down, settle it down. Villanova by 3. 4:30 left in overtime. Bain, no. Had a notion, decided not.
They really haven't used Tom Grice much.
Miller goes to him. Taken away by Murdoch. And Murdoch almost called that foul himself. They've got Grice with a foul. But Murdoch turned and made an appeal to Peter Pavia.
And he shouldn't have done that. Really, he's fortunate that they didn't call the walk. Tom Grice didn't value the ball very well down there.
Last year, here in DuPont, Villanova won 86-83 in overtime, and he wanted the intentional call.
He's going for it all, but he should have kept dribbling for fear the foul wasn't going to be called.
It's a 1-and-1, 16 now for Eric Murdoch.
That was some finish to regulation.
There'll be a few people looking at that again.
Oh, yeah, but it's
only 1 out of 2 for Murdoch. 82-80 Villanova. The Wildcats have the basketball. 4:10 left in overtime.
That's the reason they should have the tenths of a second, right? We would have been able to tell. That would be a requirement eventually.
Well, this strictly, of course, a college facility.
Now, Marty Collin doing a good job chucking Tom Grice, so that if he does catch it, it's a tougher shot.
Lance Miller gets it in low to Taylor. Turns off the glass too hard. Here comes screen. It's a 3-on-2. Screen to the middle to Murdoch. Back to Shamsuddin, the trailer. He's fouled by Aaron Bain. Shamsuddin down with a thud under his basket. Slow getting up.
Believe it or not, I thought they should have finished the break-off without Shamsuddin for this reason. You know, it was pretty basketball, but you've got Murdoch or screen involved. Let them go to the goal and then step to the foul line.
Grice out. Byrd in. 37 seconds to play. Shamsuddin with a chance to tie.
And not a good free throw shooter.
In tonight's game, Shamsuddin is 3 out of 5, has missed his last 2, misses everything.
On reach back now. I love kids to make these.
Nope, he didn't get the roll. Much better stroke, but it still didn't go.
Well, that's why the guards should have finished it themselves.
3:30 left in overtime. Villanova by 2. Miller to Bain.
And they don't have to be in a hurry. There's Rodney really the center with this club right now. And they've used this pick and roll.
Taylor. Lane jumper bending out. Tipped up. Conlon with a big strong rebound. Carlton screen with it. Now a chance for Providence to tie. Conlon for 3. Good. Marty Conlon gives the Friars the lead.
2 heavyweight hearts out here. 2 clubs full tilt. Every second. Just gorgeous to watch.
83-82 Providence. Walker in the lane. Bain for 3. No.
Great weak side rebound.
Miller up. And it goes in. Lance Miller gives Villanova the lead.
Take that. 1. A jab.
17 for Miller. 84-83. Murdoch spinning. Offensive foul on Eric Murdoch. .225 remaining.
Awesome, huh? Good jab and counter punching.
This one may not be over when it's over.
Just a terrific display of courage.
Jumper by Bain. 26-18 in the second half for Aaron Bain. 2 to play. Villanova has a 3-point lead.
Villanova getting a little more individual play with this confidence level. Able to go on their own.
Watts. Conlon in traffic. top of the circle. 3 for Murdoch. It's short. Rebound Villanova. Minute 40 to go. The Wildcats lead by 3.
Good defense. They challenge the jumper.
Screen goes for the steal. Can't come up with it. Watts the foul. He got his arms out against Walker.
Screen almost caused a 10-second violation as well.
A minute 32 to play. Villanova 86, Providence 83. Fairly tame at halftime. It was 38 to 36.
Have you had a better one this year?
No, this has been a beauty. Second straight time these two teams have gone to overtime, and Providence being outshot by 5 in the three-point range. Walker, who has made 3 straight three-pointers. Walker hits the foul shot. First chance he's had at the line. What a great game for Chris. 18 now.
They can still go for 2s. They don't need the 3s. Plenty of time.
5 points is the difference. Carlton's screen has not scored in a long time. There's the 3 from Conlon. Out it comes. Rebounded away by Walker. Byrd with it. Byrd fouled by Shamsuddin, who is through. Shamsuddin leads with 6 fouls. The second Friar to foul out of the game, following Quentin Burton to the bench. Burton fouled out with 44 seconds left in regulation. Shamsuddin leaves with a minute 10 to play. The freshmen and the sophomores for Villanova are leading the cheers in DuPont Pavilion.
You've got a Chris Walker early in the half, controlled by Carlton's screen, did not give in, and it's just been impressive what he's done. They ran those 2 big three-point plays, but if I'm Rick Barnes, I'm highly upset at the end of regulation. You can't blame him. I mean, oh, is that awfully close? We couldn't really tell. I mean, it was instantaneous without the tense of second, but a legitimate gripe. But Villanova countered with great man-to-man pressure to get back in this thing late.
Byrd will be on the line. He is 0 for 2. Carlton's screen has not scored in the last 9 minutes. See what he can do now. Still time remaining. Just over a minute left to play.
I still think they can get to 2, go to the goal, and get to the foul line.
Screen for 3 straight away. Bryce loose, picked up by Watts. Murdoch is thinking 3. See him backing out, and he throws it away. Miller comes up with a steal. He's fouled by Marty Conlon. I don't think they heeded your advice. I think they were thinking 3 strictly.
Well, the guards are so used to taking it. I thought if they go to the goal, they might get a conventional 3. Plus, it brings it to 88, 85. You know, a chance to steal and only down by 3. A lot of things they can get out of their pressure.
50 seconds to play. It'll be a 1-and-1. Miller. 7 out of 10 at the line. How quiet it becomes. Carlton screen again. There is still time.
And this is their 3rd trip. If they could get the deuce, there you go.
Screen gives it up to the side. Bent shot, bending in. Bent gets the basket, and they'll take their timeout right here. The timeout comes with 39 seconds left in overtime. A big basket for Bent. Didn't exactly hit the bottom of the net, though.
No, it wasn't pure. But now they have a chance to get their trap set. They like to put a guy on the inbounds pass and run that trap to the corner, and then get the step up to the inbound passer by the 3-man. And then in the middle of the floor, a 4th man coming up to intercept the pass. Now, Villanova likes to put 4 across, a little bit like Lou Conasecca, and if you're all up, they'll run somebody deep. I would think they'll gamble, obviously try and cause the 5-second violation as Villanova did earlier, or gamble on the first pass and then maybe give the foul.
Possession arrow, by the way, favors Providence. 1 timeout remaining for Villanova, so if they get in some kind of trouble, they've got the timeout as a safety valve.
Exactly. but I would not want to be one of these officials. I mean, they've had some very, very tough calls all night long.
Well, you saw the shot we had of Rolly Massimino at halftime. I have a feeling we may see that from Rick Barnes as he exits at the end of this overtime if it stays this way.
Well, Rick Barnes will not sleep over that canceled basket. And everybody Murdoch is deep to protect. Nobody on the inbounds passer.
A quick foul called. It'll be a 1-and-1.
That's the case where you let the official know we're going to go for it. Make sure if it's a clean one-on-one foul, you call it.
Carlton screen, walks slowly to the foul line to take his defensive position.
Here's the kid. He's been the money man.
Walker's made both of his foul shots. Make it 3. A 20-point ball game for Chris Walker.
He has just kept coming on this year. The end of last year showed a little bit. This year just taking over.
He makes both. A pair for Walker, and his clutch shooting has saved Villanova at the end of the regulation and in overtime. Byrd with a steal. Calvin Byrd with a steal and a basket. 23 seconds to go, and Walker a foul.
Why? Chris Walker. But Byrd and Villanova's man-to-man denial has been awesome. You don't want to stop the clock in that situation.
Bain in, Byrd out. A 7-point Villanova lead with 22 seconds to play. They were down 67-48. They now lead in overtime 92-85. Screen. Has missed the front end of his last 2 and will walk all the way to the other end. The Wildcats have done it.
A lot can happen, but that took a lot of starch out, that shot that was turned away. Don't you think?
Yes, and let's also think, well, yeah, of course, that was the whole ball game right there. But then the fact that they had the opportunities, I think, 3 in a row to come down, and they came away with nothing, did Providence.
And then Villanova countered by not making free throws.
Woodard makes his. 93-85. Now the faithful will begin to depart DuPont Pavilion.
One of the better comebacks, though, that I've witnessed.
Coming back from a 19-point deficit. Watts will shoot 3. He will hit. That's exactly what Watts does. He's made only 4 2-point baskets in his last 47 games. 4 seconds remaining in regulation. Let's do our Plymouth Player of the Game for you, because it's a well-deserved honor for Aaron Bain, a career high for Bain. He had 26 points. He led the surge back offensively, and it was Walker to the rescue at the end. But Bain is our player of the game.
I was going to say, Chris Walker, outstanding. I think Bain will agree. But maybe Aaron has got his game together, and Rolly will get his shirt together after climbing out of the cellar.
Walker with a chance to match his career high.
I mean, they were in the basement most of the ball game. Just sensational comeback, and all on the defensive end.
23 for Walker, 26 for Bain. Lance Miller with 17. A tremendous comeback by Villanova. The Wildcats lead by 8. Eric Murdoch out of bounds, and the ball game is over. Billy with a great comeback for the Wildcats.
Awesome. It was.
Let's watch the end of regulation coming up right here. We've got company. Rick Barnes is right with us.
It's like
Rick, no real reaction. He watched the replay and heads to the locker room.
I can't blame him at all. As I said earlier, you've got to beg for that one. A killer.
Villanova wins it. What a great ball game tonight at DuPont Pavilion. Again, our final score in overtime: Villanova 96, Providence 88. For Billy Raftery, I'm John Sanders. Good night. Thanks for being with us. The preceding has been a presentation of the Big East Conference Television Network.